You're good.
Hey guys, welcome. The volunteers and interns are just finished. And while they are doing that, I am doing some prep work for our menu this evening. A vegetable pot pie. We're going to do French bread pizzas with sausage and green bell peppers. And we are also going to do blueberry pancakes. So 3 meals in one, y'all. So everybody's still eating right now. Andy is behind the camera.
Hi guys.
And Miss Carol is also joining us tonight. So we have a full house, I guess you could say. So I'm just working on the vegetables for the pot pie. Now you can do pot pie obviously with meat or whatever you want to put in there. It's really nice.
You're getting the help?
Hmm?
You getting in there help?
I'm a little dirty, otherwise I would.
Yeah, we'll exempt Tanya. Tanya's here. We're going to exempt her. We've got some new people that have not been part of the crew before. What are you looking for? Right here. You have to go. So you have to go this way. You have to come around behind me and say hi to everybody.
You guys go that way. You'll have to get in front of the camera for a brief moment.
Vito, Dylan. So we got a couple of our interns. So, like I was saying, when you work on a pot pie, you can basically make it into whatever you want. You can put meat in there. You can put veggies only. You can make it vegan. You can make it vegetarian. You can do omnivore. It's basically whatever you want it to be. And that's the really nice thing about it, is that it can just kind of be what you want it to be and filled with whatever you want it to be filled with. So, just like your life. Yes, it can be whatever you want it to be. All right, so I'm going to experiment with this because I have never used it before. I don't know how it works. Probably. Ah, there we go. No. Temperature. Bear with me. I don't know. How does this work? Someone help me. Andy, you're my tech man.
Alright, I'm stuck behind interns.
Tech, someone who does tech.
Nico, get a hammer.
No, Nico, don't touch this. You and technology are not friends. Nico's here. How do I use this thing?
Oh, did you read the directions?
No, I didn't have time to read the
You're always
directions.
telling me, read the directions.
Yes, but that's because you always break things.
It's from IKEA. You can do this.
It's not from IKEA, it's from Amazon.
I know it's from Amazon.
Maybe it's heating up? I don't know. All right.
EO. Hey, behind you guys, there's a box, Melissa. Are there directions in there?
This is... There are no directions?
I looked.
Oh.
Is anybody
This is
making
real
fun of us
life,
yet on there?
people.
This is
Wait,
great.
Oh, directions! This is real life. This is how it
There's
works.
apparently a child lock. There's a child lock.
Oh, there's a child lock? This is not what happens really when you cook. Ordinarily, I'd be doing it on the stovetop, but then my back would be to everybody, and no, that's not fun for anyone.
I think I just turned the child lock on.
Maybe it needs to warm up. How do you turn? Now it's
you
off.
hold this down long enough, you lock the interns
But
out.
that's but we don't. I need the interns to be able to use this because they need to learn how to cook. That's the whole
So don't
purpose
put
of
your
this
finger
show.
on that.
Well, don't put your finger on that
It's
then.
child lock. Leave it alone.
How old are you? Oh.
Oh.
No, it just turned off again now. All right, well,
This is the worst. Was this
So
like
this is
Amazon
function?
Basics?
I don't know. Oh, you got it to... I don't know. All right, you know what? I may have to turn my back to these lovely people. So, I'll just do it from the side. Ha! So this is the front. All right, so what I'm doing right now is I'm just preparing half a stick of butter. So for a quarter cup of either butter or oil. If you want it to be vegan, you can use oil. I would recommend olive oil. But if you want it to be omnivore or vegetarian, you can use butter. I'm using butter right now. So I'm just waiting for my butter to melt, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook some of my vegetables. So I'm doing a medley of vegetables because I'm going to do a vegetarian pot pie tonight. So I have in this bowl, I have onions, celery, and carrots, and then I am adding potato to my pot pie. So I'm going to cook my potato starting at the very beginning, so that way it actually cooks down and it gets soft, so that way you guys aren't eating raw potato. Because, I mean, I love potato, but not raw.
All right, so apparently it's an error code.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So
but,
it's broken.
No. It says if the cookware is removed from the countertop during any time during the cooking cycle, the unit will be continuously for 30 seconds. And then you get an error code, and then it says repeat steps 1 through 5. Which are all things.
Okay, I'm just
basically just put something heavy on it and just leave it there.
Okay, I'm just gonna, do this now because this is working for me, kind of. I feel kind of like Julia Childs right now. It's cool. I liked her. All right, I'm gonna grab some ingredients out of here. You never get to be on camera. Julie, you don't know who Julia Child is? Oh, Dylan.
Sorry, Dad.
Oh.
Sorry, Dad.
I'm sad. All right, I'm gonna add broccoli as well.
Your dad had a poster over in the garage, right?
Oh.
She's the cook.
There you go. Yes, she's the cook lady. Yes. All right, we're just not gonna mess with that. Ooh, that broccoli is strong. Nico, I roasted some broccoli. So what I did is I took this broccoli. Well, Andy took this broccoli and he cut it up into
You should have
kind
Nico
of
make it.
smaller pieces.
I give up.
And then that's fine.
It's done.
It's fine. And then I roasted it with some olive oil, some salt and pepper for about 400 degrees for about 10 minutes. Because it's going to continue to cook once I put it in the hot pot pie material. Sound good? Everybody? Good? Yeah? Okay. I'm going to move this out of the way since it's pretty much useless. And I'm going to use my recipe because I do need to cheat sometimes. We'll move this here. It is following directions. Oh, he's still all upset about that, the burner. That's fine. All right, so I've got my pan set to about medium high. And what I'm going to do is once my butter has melted, I'm going to go ahead and put my potato, onion, celery, and carrot in there and start cooking it. And then while that's going on, I'm going to make, after that, I'm going to make what's called a roux.
Hey, your mom says hi.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom. I love my mom. She's so cute. All right, so after that, I'm going to make a roux, which is basically a mixture of flour and butter, or flour and oil. Especially if you're doing a vegan version, you can use the oil, and the flour is going to help make a thickening sauce. So when I do that, after I've made my roux, I need...
Your dad says, don't let the dough loaf.
My dad's weird, but I love him. Oh boy. That explains that.
And Luana said, if that oven doesn't work, we mail it to her.
Oh, hi Luana. Luana, you guys, Luana's watching with us. She's hanging out with us too. We got a lot of fun faces. So I'm kind of just getting all of my components together right now. What I want to do is I want to be prepared, because once you get this process going, then it really kind of goes quickly. This is going to take us the most time because it has to cook the longest. It's the only thing we're really like cooking, and it's about 45 minutes. But once you get all your prep work done, then it doesn't take you too long once the whole process gets going. The whole point of this is so that way you guys can take a couple hours on your days off, which I know you have one of, and you can make some food that you guys can eat throughout the week. So that way you're not eating freezer meals, frozen TV dinners, frozen French bread pizzas. I know why you did it, but still. So the goal is to kind of get you guys so that way you're comfortable in the kitchen as well as being able to make food that you really enjoy. So I'm going to go ahead and put these veggies in. And while I'm doing that, Andy, do we have any questions or anything else from my parents?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Is it snowing in Wisconsin?
Kate Hall said hi to everybody.
Hi. Hi, friends. Welcome. I wasn't even born then. My mom was gonna graduate from. My mom graduated from high school a couple years after that. Sorry,
I
Mom.
don't think she wants you telling people that.
Sorry, Mom.
Hey, we got a what's cooking.
What's cooking? Right now we're cooking pot pie. Pot pie.
Popeyes.
Not Popeyes. Apparently there was some sort of confusion about what was happening. Popeyes.
Popeyes is just
Oh, Popeyes.
Oh,
Oh, yes.
light. There we go. There is a fan, but
Nothing's steaming.
yeah, I was like, that's okay. I'm gonna turn my oven up because I need it at 400 degrees. Sorry for the air conditioning unit. All right. When you add your vegetables, it calls for you to add the garlic. I like to hold off on the garlic until a little bit later, just so that way I don't burn my garlic. If you burn your garlic in your recipe, it ruins the entire recipe and you have to start over. Believe me, burnt garlic is disgusting. I know from personal experience. So, I'm gonna get my seasoning ready. And I like to season to taste, which is what I've noticed on your recipes. Just salt and pepper to taste. And then I've called for fresh herbs of your choice. Now, in this recipe, my secret weapon is poultry seasoning. I know it sounds crazy, but it makes my vegan pot pie, which I'm making a vegetarian pot pie, but it makes my pot pie taste like Thanksgiving, which just makes me so happy. So my secret weapon is poultry seasoning. Now, just because it says poultry seasoning doesn't mean that there's any poultry in it. It's just herbs. So that's my personal preference. So I love poultry seasoning. I use it in my vegan Thanksgiving stuffing. I use it in my vegan pot pie. I use it anywhere I can because I really enjoy it. It's one of my favorites. So while we're getting these vegetables cooked, just kind of keep stirring them every once in a while. I usually give them about 5 to 7 minutes to cook down before I put in my garlic. So I've got my garlic all minced up, and I'm just going to prep my ingredients for my roux. So I've got my flour here in my Green Bay Packers container, and of course I have my Green Bay Packers cup, because Green Bay is the best team. What? Yes. Well, actually, I'm an owner of the Green Bay Packers. Yeah. Yeah, Green Bay Packers are the only publicly traded team in the league, and I own stock in the Green Bay Packers, and therefore am an owner. And I could go to their meetings. Do you have a question, sir?
No, I'm just cheering.
Oh. Oh, do you like the Green Bay Packers?
I'm just cheering you on.
Oh, thanks. I was really excited. What's that now? Oh, all right. Maz. Come on over here, Maz. You get to be on camera. Yay! Maz and I went shopping yesterday with Elisa. It was a good time. It was a good time. Do you want to kind of stir my vegetables for me every once in a while? And then don't forget to turn and look at the camera and say hi every once in a while.
Catherine wants to know if Devin is here.
Devin is not here. Dylan is here, but Devin is not.
You could be David. You dropped the car.
You dropped it. Here, you had one job. What are you doing? Did you get lessons from Tanya on how to fling food? Like, what happened here? What happened here?
Welcome, Maz.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All right, so I'm prepping my vegetable broth. And again, if you're using chicken or turkey, you can use chicken or turkey broth or beef broth. But I'm prepping my vegetable broth and getting that ready. Oh, my oven is preheated, which is awesome. All right, this is looking nice. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put my garlic in. All right, I'm going to give you a lesson here that I've been trying to teach Andy, because he also likes to fling food when he's in the
Only bacon grease.
No, you fling all the food, not just bacon grease. You fling all the food all the time. So you just very carefully, it's kind of a folding method. You just fold it. You just fold it in. What is going on? There's a lot of giggling over there.
Was that a Happy Gilmore reference? Just tap it in.
Tap. Oh, I do like Happy Gilmore. I love Happy Gilmore.
Unless you were changing the reference.
I love Happy Gilmore. It's a great movie. Tap it in. Just tap it in. Tanya, you may need to come say hi to everybody because they all love you and know who you are.
I'm dirty.
It's okay that you're dirty. Tanya's been working hard today, so give her some love.
And injured with the slice.
No, that's fine.
It's really
All right, so I've got this cooked nicely the way I want it. I'm gonna snag one of these because I don't need these anymore. I will need it in a minute. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my flour and get my roux started. It's very simple. This is just 1/3 cup all-purpose flour.
Can you spell Roux?
Yes, R-O-U-X, roux. It is a French word, but it's also used in a lot of Cajun Creole cooking in New Orleans. So the French started it, and then the Cajuns took it over. You use it a lot in gumbo, mostly in gumbo, but also in like, Andy, what's that dish that you like? The Cajun, or the étouffée. Étouffée. Yes, he likes all of the Cajun food. But they also use it in étouffée. What? You thought what was what? Roux. That's roux. R-O-E, yes. Alright, so I've added my flour, and I'm just going to go ahead and whisk everything together, and it's going to kind of stick. It's going to get sort of dry looking almost. I wish I'll show you. Here, I'll just come do this here real quick. I just made a mess. But see here, it's kind of looking a little bit floury, which it should. But you want to make sure that you get all your flour incorporated and cook out that raw flour flavor, because that's not delicious. It's not tasty at all. So now that I've got my flour all worked in and incorporated, see, there we go. I've got everything all worked in. I'm going to take my whisk and my pan back to the stove. And I'm going to add my liquid. I'm going to gradually add it, not all at once. I want it to really kind of work its way in and make almost like a gravy. It's basically a gravy you're making. But don't let that intimidate you.
Maybe this is Bridget Sardone's cookie.
So it's starting to thicken already. Thanks, Maz. Here, do you want to flip it and you can hold the long handle so you don't burn yourself? So it's really starting to come together, and you'll see it's kind of starting to make like a gravy almost. Do you guys have gravy? You guys, gravy is the same in your country too, right?
Gravy is a big thing in my country. Did you guys put gravy on weird stuff in this country?
We put gravy on weird stuff.
Like on pancakes and stuff.
Oh, biscuits.
I've never heard of
Biscuits and gravy.
We don't have biscuits.
Oh,
I despise gravy.
I love gravy. The UK, right? Biscuits are like cookies.
Yes.
Hey, they're like
Y'all biscuit. Yeah, that's very personal.
then gravy is the best. Oh, it's so good. Fight me.
This is like Hell's Kitchen.
Fight.
Max always wants me to fight. Max is always like, fight. I think you just really want Andy and me to fight. All right, so now that I've added my 1.5 cups of vegetable broth, I'm going to go ahead and add my 1/2 cup of milk. Now, again, you can use cow's milk, you can use almond milk, oatmeal milk, whatever you have, whatever it is that you use in your kitchen. That's the nice thing about this, is that really you can, oh wait, I need that, I just need to turn it down. Stand by. So you can kind of see how it's really nice and thick. And this is when I'm going to add my seasoning. So I'm going to do some salt and pepper. And just, wow, that was a weird cackle from Andy Sardone in the background.
Lessa Lindsay says, gravy is a food group, lots of exclamation points.
Oh, gravy is a food group. Yes. That's a girl after my own heart.
Oh my god.
Gravy.
Catherine and Neville, this is actually a vegetarian hot pie. There's no meat in it. They're saying we could eat this if it didn't have meat in it.
There is no meat vegan. I have made vegan pot pies. So in your vegetarian or vegan pot pies, you could do something like, well, let's go vegetarian or vegan. Mushrooms. Ooh. Sweet potatoes.
One thing we agree on, mushrooms.
Chickpeas. You could use, I've done it with chickpeas. I'm doing broccoli and potatoes in this one because I know how much my friend Nico loves broccoli. Don't worry, he's going to be on camera soon because I know you guys all love seeing Nico on camera.
Amanda wants to know where she can get the printed recipe.
Where can the recipe be found, Andy?
I am putting it up right now. So,
On Facebook?
T-minus 30 seconds.
What's the location? Are you putting it up on Facebook or where?
I am going to drop it in the video, and yeah, it'll be actually you'll be able to find it on chickennugget.com in just a second.
chickennugget.com.
Tell them like 5 minutes,
In approximately 5 minutes.
so I'll let you know.
There is the tech man. I have like 2 tech people. I feel almost kind of like I'm actually a...
I mean, it's
A
lit-
superstar?
I mean, it's lit like an actual TV
The
show.
next Emerald Lagasse.
No, let's not do that. I'm not interested. That I just instantly started sweating, Dylan. I'm not interested in becoming the next Food Network star. No. No, no.
Yes,
No.
it is.
No, I'm not. Stop talking. You don't talk for me. No.
Hey, our house off.
Fight.
Stop it.
My money's on Bridget though.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
scrappy.
saying fight.
I'm scrappy. And I used to kickbox.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, so see how this is nice and kind of thick? And it looks...
But you had to run.
it's so good. So I have added my broccoli and I cooked down my potatoes earlier along with my onion, celery. I did add my garlic. So now I'm going to set this aside for a little bit just to cool that right there for you guys. And I'm going to move a little bit of this stuff out of the way because now comes the fun part, which can also be the intimidating part depending on who you are as a person. Pie crust. Let's talk about pie crust. I know. Dun, dun, dun. So you can buy pie crust in the store. It's totally fine. You can buy it and it's rolled up into like a little cylinder and then you just unroll it and you prepare it. However, if I were to purchase pie crust from the store, I do believe my grandmother would come out of her grave and snatch me bald-headed, and my mom would slap me the next time she sees me. And I don't want either of those things, so I have made pie crust. And it's my grandma's recipe. So, I prepped it a little bit. I made 2 pie crusts. I made one for the filling, one for the bottom and the filling. So you can see. La la. And I left a little bit of overhang on the sides where I could, just because I knew I was going to be making the top portion. So I'm going to move these things out of my way. I do need that for later, but not right now. Let me grab a sip of water. Yeah, Green Bay Packers are the best. All right. I'm just going to tidy this up a smidge. What's happened? You're fine. All right, I'm gonna grab my second pie crust out of my cooler.
Some pie crust came in, just got
Hey, nice on that.
Who?
Megan.
Hi, Megan.
How did you make your pie crust?
Hi, Megan. I used Crisco because that's the way my grandma did it, and it's vegan. Crisco is vegan. So I was making food for vegan friends because here at Big Cat Rescue, a good majority of the population is, Nico's shaking his head, he's like, no, vegan or vegetarian. So, yep, Chelsea's like, woohoo! So I was making vegan food a long time ago.
Catherine
Right.
wants to know if you could make it gluten-free pie crust.
You can, I know that there are ways to do it, but I have never personally done it. So I don't know how to make a gluten-free pie crust. That is something I have not attempted yet. Sadly for Andy, because he is gluten intolerant, which means he either A, does not get any pie, or B, has to suffer through eating the gluten and then feeling miserable for the next couple of days. Usually it's the latter. But yes, there's a brand called King Arthur's Flour. They have a gluten-free flour mix. I would suggest trying them out. But I use Crisco, and I use ice cold water, like really cold water, and I prepare my pie crust with in a cold bowl. Like I put my bowl in the fridge before I start working with my ingredients. And I do it by hand. I know some people use food processor, and that's how they do it on the TV shows, but I prefer to do it by hand. It's the way I was taught. It's the way my grandmother did it. It's the way my mom still does it. And I just use a pastry cutter, which is really cool. It just has like this rocking motion back and forth, which I love. In my Crisco to my flour, then I add my ice water, and then I use my hands and I mix it all together until it comes together. So now I'm just working with my pie dough.
What is the reason for the ice cold?
It prevents the butter from, or your shortening of any kind, from getting too warm. The reason that pie dough and pie crust work so well is because you've got chunks of your fat, so to speak, in little pockets. And what happens is when you bake that off, it steams open and it makes everything light and fluffy and airy. So if you get it too warm, get the rise and the gorgeousness of crust or pie dough.
You're a genius.
It's just science. Science!
Exactly.
So, and again, you got a question?
Yeah, let's see, Luana has one from one of the groups. How long do you let the dough rest before rolling it out?
A minimum of 30 minutes resting time in the refrigerator. Now you can make your pie dough in advance and freeze it, but then you need to let it sit in your refrigerator to thaw a little bit because you don't want to take it from frozen. It won't work. And then you'll have to let it go. See what I did there? Anybody? No? Thank you. Yes. Thank you. I was like, someone get that reference. So you want to let it rest at least 30 minutes in the refrigerator, but you can make it in advance. So during the holidays, I make my pie crust days in advance. I stick it in the freezer, and then I pull it out and set it in the refrigerator so that it can come closer to room temperature. And then once I'm ready, I start working with it. I am using a pastry cloth, by the way. I know this looks kind of weird. Andy, the first time Andy ever saw it, he was totally creeped out, grossed out by it. It's actually very clean. It's just used for pastry, and it lives in the refrigerator. This was my grandmother's. It's very sentimental to me, and it's the way that she would roll out her pie dough. It's the way my mom rolls her pie dough out. She has one, and it just belongs to me, and it has a very important piece of my heart. So this is my pastry cloth. And so now that my dough is rolled out, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna add some frozen peas to this mixture. Nico, I need your knife, please. Can you open this bag of peas for me, please?
You should do it on camera though.
Yeah, you need to come do it on camera though. Come. Come on, Nico. Thank you for that, pointing that out, Tanya.
We're getting some asking about new interns.
What's that?
We need some new intern introductions.
All right, new interns. Yeah, woohoo! All right, so all the new interns, come on up. You got to meet the people.
I'm Elizabeth.
Elizabeth, I'm Bridget. We have not
Nice
met
to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Welcome. Sorry, I have pie dough on my hands, but it's
Okay. I'm Kate.
nice to meet you, Kate. That's my mom's name, so that'll be easy to remember.
Erin.
Nice to meet you, Erin. Say hi to everybody.
Vito.
Nice to officially meet you.
Hi.
Lexi.
We've met, yes.
We've
Nice
met.
to meet you.
Perfect.
Nice to meet you. So you guys have kind of met all of the interns. Can I have those, please? Did you open it?
I did not.
Oh, well, can you open it for me, please? Thank you.
Yeah, find out.
So, summer is definitely intern season. Thank you. I didn't forget the peas this time. Summer is definitely intern season. So, do we have any more interns coming, Chelsea, or is this everybody? What? 3 more interns coming. So we have...
Do we know if intern season and kitten season correspond?
I think so, yes. Carol emphatically says yes.
Totally.
So I just put some frozen peas in here. It does 2 things. One, it helps to cool my mixture down, so that way when I put my mixture into my pie pan, I don't immediately start cooking my crust. But also, the peas are yummy. I really... Do you eat peas? Do you eat mushy peas?
Yes.
Oh.
Fish chips on the cookie.
Mm.
And gravy.
And gravy. Okay, now it's better since you put gravy on there.
Hey,
Agreed.
Ooh, Nico!
they heard Chelsea and they want to see Chelsea do something.
All right.
Did Chelsea do a cartwheel?
I'm working.
This is working out again.
Chelsea says she's working. Sorry. everybody.
Okay, so apparently Chelsea is working hard. So we'll let Chelsea work. But good attempt. I like that. Maybe next time. So I'm going to take my filling and I'm going to put it into my pie crust. Just like this. It's a very heavy pan because it's full of vegetables and deliciousness and love.
Most important ingredient of
It is the most important ingredient, especially when you're cooking for interns, because they need to know how much you love them, because that helps them work harder. And it also makes you very popular with the interns, so when you need something and you need them to do something, they're more likely to do it for you. I do. I'm not above blackmailing with food. We do that with the cats, though. We bribe the cats with food to go home from vacation. I'm bribing the interns with food. It's the same concept. It really is.
operant conditioning with us.
It's operant conditioning, yes. There's food. Okay, I'll do it. That's. I would never bribe people with food. I just give people food because that's the way I roll. All right, so I've got my beautiful. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Ah. So I got my lovely pie, and I put my filling in, and now I'm going to take my top crust. And again, feel free to use pie crust from the store if that's what makes you comfortable. If you are not comfortable making pie crust at home, don't worry about it. Boom. Got skills.
I noticed that your whatever you call that, your rolling pin, it's very different. I've never seen one like that.
This is a French style rolling pin. I like it for 2 reasons. One, I don't have to worry about like my rotors dying or rusting or anything and then not turning properly or being unweighted. Also, it works really nicely to threaten Andy in the kitchen. It's more effective.
What do you do about it?
Bam.
Guess whose knives are going to be selling next week?
Oh, wow. All right, so I've got my 2 sets of pie crust. Crust is my favorite part of the pie, in any pie, and it's also Gail's favorite part. I learned this. Gail loves crust. So I'm not going to do anything where I trim this. I'm just going to go ahead and bring these 2 things together, and I'm going to very gently fold over a couple of times. Mostly 2. I'm just going to seal this together loosely, and then I'm going to go back around and seal it in a more authoritative fashion. What? There's a bee. Do you want it?
Escape.
Was it frozen?
A little bit frozen. It's just cold.
Somebody wants to know if the rolling pin makes Andy do dishes faster.
No, Andy does dishes quite well all on his own accord. I don't usually need to threaten him. But sometimes he gets distracted by cats or technology, mostly technology. And then I need to threaten him. But no, Andy does dishes pretty well. I will say Nico also does dishes quite... Actually, Nico does dishes better than Andy. Andy's single, ladies.
You mean
Nico.
It sounded like you said Andy.
Oh! And he's single. 3 words.
Single. Andy's heart just dropped.
Poor Andy.
I'm wearing a wedding ring, people. Come on now.
He's single for you.
Is the edge being scalloped like that just decorative, or does it serve a purpose?
Well, it for me it's mostly decorative. Again, I do a lot of the ways I cook because of my grandmother and my mother. So these are the ways that my mom and my grandmother cooked and baked. And my mom still does because she's still with us. But it also helps keep the filling in so it doesn't kind of, you know, ooze out the side. So you're kind of making sure that everything stays in. You want it to stay in nicely and behave itself. Because otherwise you'll lose precious filling, which is one of the best parts after the pie crust. Because there's gravy in there. Or a roux. We'll call it a roux. It's a roux. It'll make you feel better, Vito. If it makes you feel better, just think of it as the roux. It's going to be okay. Everything's fine.
Question, is what you're doing right now, does that help keep the stuff inside?
Yes.
Boiling out?
Yes. What I'm doing right now, what I just did, helps keep stuff inside. And now what I'm doing is just making some slits in the top of the pie so that way steam can escape from the filling as opposed to the crust. You want, the crust is going to steam, but you want the filling to be able to steam up and out so you don't have soggy pie crust. So there it is, pot pie. It's really, it's not that scary.
Then you just leave it in the oven for.
You put it in the oven for 45 minutes at 400 degrees, which we're going to do, so it'll come out at the end of the show or maybe after the show is over, in which case we'll take a picture. If you are really crazy and intense and you want to do, it's a way to make it just, you know when you go to the bakery and they have like these beautiful golden pies? Yes,
What's an egg wash?
I'm getting to that. Good question.
Like the thing that makes it look shiny.
Yes, it makes it look shiny. You take some egg, you take one egg, you beat it, whisk it together with a little bit of water, and then you just brush it over the top. I don't have an egg. Well, I do have an egg, but I don't have a brush, a pastry brush. But you can also use milk, especially if you're vegan and you want to use that vegan milk. You can do that over the top as well. It won't be as shiny as the egg, but it's still pretty beautiful. Ma'am.
Bomb.
Thank you.
What's your time and cook temperature?
400 degrees at 45 minutes, or 45 minutes at 400 degrees. So we're going to synchronize your watches, people. No? Nobody?
I gotcha, yeah.
I'm like, anybody get that?
It's from a show or movie.
The interns are getting too young. Yeah.
And are all of these foods things you made before, or was this just random?
So what I have made for dinner tonight for our interns and volunteers, I have never made before, and I just sort of made that up on the fly. I do kind of like to experiment on people with food.
Hey, Bridge, if you let everybody know, the recipes are up.
Okay. I will finish answering Carol's question, and then I will answer your question. That's okay. It's okay. But some of these recipes I have made before. So the pot pie I have made previously, but I have been making pie for years and years. We're going to make pancakes from a box because I am not above getting a little help from the store. So I have made those in the past before. The French bread pizza that we're going to make, actually in just a couple minutes, I've not made before, but it's pretty easy. We're just going to experiment and go from there. So, the recipes are up on chickenandnugget.com, yes?
Yep, you go to chickennugget.com, scroll down a little ways on the right-hand side, just pop your email in, and we'll send you tonight's recipes.
Okay, so go to chickenandnugget.com, scroll down a little bit, look on the right-hand side, enter your email address,
Yep.
and we will send you these recipes. Cool. All right, there was something I was going to say, but I can't remember now. It's gone. It'll come back to me.
Bridget, you were saying what you cooked for us tonight.
Oh,
Yes.
yes. Oh, I made taco casserole, cornbread casserole, and I made a vegan version with black beans and vegan cheese, and then I made an omnivore version with ground beef. So, mix, jicama, and green apple, and some cilantro, and mayonnaise and salt and pepper and lime juice. So,
Really good.
oh good, I'm glad you liked it. All right. Let's see. I need to tidy up a little bit. Can you do some dishes for me, please?
Oh, yeah.
Thanks. Since Nico is so good at doing dishes, I have a knife here, so just be very careful.
Over here.
Are we switching places?
I was going like,
That's why it didn't work. It has to be conductive in order to work on the.
Oh, is it gonna work now? I mean, because I might need it.
You need a stainless steel pan.
I need a stainless steel pan.
Yeah, because if it's not magnetic, it won't work on the
Well,
conductive surface.
Fart. So it won't work. It won't work then. Oh well. Okay, I need a stainless steel pan. I don't think so. I don't know.
It's like if you stick that on the bottom of the pan and it sticks, then you know it'll work.
Oh, okay. Did it stick on that or no? Oh, okay. All right. So that does not work unless it's stainless steel. I did not read that in the description, so I'm a little bit salty about that, but it's okay. So, what are you giggling about back there? Andy's like just cackling away.
They're commenting on Nico doing dishes. The ladies just love it.
Oh. All right, so our next project is going to be French bread pizza. Who wants to make French bread pizza? Brooke?
Oh, Brooklyn would love to make French
Brooke?
bread pizza.
Do you want to come make French bread pizza? Yay!
Brooke.
It's super simple.
Okay.
It's very simple. It's really not hard.
you wore your food shirt.
She even wore her spaghetti shirt. I know. I was so happy when I saw that.
Olive Garden.
See, though, so then you're good. This is like working at Olive Garden, kind of.
I didn't actually make the food. I just delivered it.
Yeah, but you worked. Did you cut the bread or anything?
Nope.
Oh.
I ate the bread.
Well, you're part way there then. You're part of the way there. So once we get that cutting board back from Nico when he's
Yeah.
done washing it,
Okay.
then we'll go ahead and make French bread pizza. And it's super simple. It's very, very easy. It's French bread. Oh.
Hey, Bridget, we have something to dry this with?
Pizza sauce. It looks like there's paper towel there. No, don't use your shirt. Pizza sauce and toppings, which I'm gonna grab out of the cooler real quick. We're gonna do sausage and peppers.
Okay.
Do you like both of those things?
No.
You don't like either? Do you like either of those things?
Green peppers are fine, but I don't eat sausage.
You don't eat sausage?
No.
I did not know that.
I don't eat a lot of meat actually.
Oh,
Bridge.
I did not
I
know
probably
that.
could be a vegan or vegetarian.
Sweet.
But
Welcome.
I like cheese.
Oh, then you could be a vegetarian.
Yeah.
There you go.
Put me on the spot.
Cheese is good. I'm from Wisconsin. I used to eat a ton of cheese. I still eat cheese. It's just vegan now.
Vegan cheese.
Some of that is really good.
Is it?
Yeah, some cheese. Some vegan cheese is good. Thank you. It's true. It's either really good or not good at all. There's no happy medium with vegan cheese. All right, and I'm gonna grab the cheese because you reminded me that
You need cheese.
that we need cheese. We need cheese for pizza. For pizza.
Yeah.
For French bread pizza. Yeah. Yeah.
I eat frozen ones.
You eat frozen pizzas?
Frozen French bread.
Well, good now. See, now you can make your own French bread pizza. All right. Are you watching? Are you watching? You watching?
Me.
Inception.
Molly's that I'm precious.
Maz is watching herself on her phone
Maz Amaranth is
through
watching.
the yes. This is how we roll here at Big Cat Rescue. All right. So I'm gonna grab you.
Curious about the comment.
We're gonna get crafty here and create.
Okay.
All right.
Let's do it.
So we're gonna do this. Do you want to cut the bread or assemble the pizza?
I'll assemble the pizza.
Okay, then I will cut the bread for you.
All right.
Here is your jar of pizza sauce and your spoon. Yes, and I have a spoon for the meat.
Are you putting meat first or cheese first?
You know what? That's the beauty of this. You get to make it, but I would recommend the meat first and then the cheese all over the top. So, but you are getting to make this, and that's the best thing about cooking is that you get to make it how you like it. And then you get to give it to your friends and coworkers, and they get to eat it how
What
you
if
made
they
it.
don't like it?
Well, then that's their problem, not yours.
Okay.
Don't put the sauce on the top. It goes sauce.
No, I know.
Corner, ma'am, Miss Chelsea, who's not going to make any sort of camera appearance. You get no opinion. All right, so it's super simple. We're just going to make chunks. I'm going to make another half. I'm going to cut it lengthwise be careful and watch your fingers. It can be dangerous. Do not let children do this step.
Is there a special kind of knife for that?
Yeah, I'm using a for the bread, and it also works well for tomatoes. So I would recommend a serrated bread knife if you have one, but if not, just very carefully use your chef's knife, which is that big knife that I was using before.
That was a serial killer knife.
That knife. I have an even bigger one that Andy gave me for Christmas one year, because that's the kind of marriage we have. It's big and shiny and huge. I love it.
Killing a cereal right now.
This is assault. This is.
President, do you have a second to explain something?
Yes, I sure do.
So, excellent question from one of our interns about if this is within a certain budget for a certain period of time.
Yes, this actually, I did all the maths for all the ingredients, and this is within your $50 budget for an entire week. All of these meals together. All of them. And a little bit of money left over. But you will need basic essentials, which I did not plan for, so you will need to go buy all-purpose flour, people. Good gravy train.
Are there specific flours for specific things?
We're getting a lot of requests to see everybody.
Hey, this is Melissa.
She's
This is Melissa.
she's one of our new red shirts. She's awesome. We love her. She was actually on my tour.
I was.
There's
Melissa.
Chelsea.
There's Chelsea way in the background. In the corner there. It's okay, babe. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Take your time.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. I'm just going to keep cutting bread.
No, you keep cutting, girl.
I'm going to keep cutting the bread. Yeah, so Melissa was actually on one of my tours, and she thought that I was so amazing that she was like, how can I be a volunteer at Big Cat Rescue? And I said, can I make one just cheese? You can make one just cheese, yeah, if you want.
You can keep cutting.
Yeah, not a problem. Because I cooked these green peppers in meat sauce, in meat fat. So don't, Lexi, I'm sorry, you can't have any of this pizza.
Oh, I thought she meant
So yeah, Melissa had such a great time on her tour, which I think speaks volumes about me as a tour guide personally. I'm just going to keep tooting my own horn here on that one. That she, oh, there it is. That she wanted to know how she could get involved. And Tanya's going to hold up a card about how you can get involved at Big Cat Rescue. So I gave Melissa that information, and I was like, go on to bigcatrescue.org and go to bigcatrescue.org, check us out, fill out the application, and then be prepared to never leave. Never ever leave. You just never leave. They call you and they say, yep, you can come in, let's do orientation for the volunteers at least, and then you just stay for the rest of your life. And you never go home. No, you don't. Well, sometimes I want to because I really need to shower. Sometimes I just really want to go home and shower. And I do want to hang out with my cats. Who, by the way, Chicken and Nugget are named after. Just in case anybody was wondering where the name Chicken and Nugget came from. Chicken is the nickname of my cat Delilah, our cat Delilah. Sorry, she's Andy's cat too. Technically, she's nobody's cat. I'm her parent. I'm her guardian. And then Nugget is the nickname of Joy, who is our other cat that we guard as well. We take care of her.
Who's the round orange one again?
What's that?
Who's the very round orange one?
Orange?
Orange and white? That's
Orange and
George.
white?
George?
With the tiny tail?
Yeah.
That's George. Yes, George is an old man. He's our Manx. He's 14 and a half. And he is, yes, Maz likes to call him a pudding. He's a loaf, and I love him dearly. He's in renal failure, so he's been kind of, yeah. But he's been doing okay. We take him to acupuncture once a month. Yeah, he's going to acupuncture on Friday mornings. So it does. 14 and a half. So he's been, it'll be a year. It's been a year since he's been diagnosed. It's been over a year. And Joy and Delilah, since they fight with him, which Maz got to witness yesterday when she came by to hang out with me while we went to the mall with Elisa. Are you almost out of cheese, or are you good on cheese?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Here, I'll trade you. I'll take this.
Thanks.
And I'll give you that. Yeah, there you go. Thanks. It's all good. No worries. So George he wrestles with Delilah and Joy, and that's what keeps him young. They keep him young. Elisa was like, no, get away. And I'm like, no, let them tussle. I'm like, let him beat him up. And he will, too. That's what keeps him young. So, now that we have a batch of pizzas ready to rock and roll, what we're going to do is we're going to stick these in the freezer so that they can freeze, and then we'll wrap them in tin foil, and then you'll put them in your freezer and keep them until you're ready. Did you go to RIT?
Yeah. Really?
Mr. Sardone is from Rochester.
Another person from upstate New York.
Yeah, are you from upstate New York?
Yeah.
How did I not know that?
We had a conversation about it. I was wearing a Youth Coffee shirt.
So does Dylan.
You know, I did know that. Which part of upstate are you from?
Albany.
Albany. All right.
My mom works there.
Oh, your mom works in Albany?
We have like every major city in upstate New
Nice.
York represented.
Nice. And then we have, all over the world. We have South Africa. Every time I see or hear someone from South Africa now, I get excited and think of you always. I'm like, Tanya! I was watching Chopped, and there were 2 women from South Africa cooking, and I was like, Tanya!
They need to win.
They did not win. They
All we
could.
did was drink and
It was a twin competition, and they were the twins. They were 2 twin women, and they couldn't get it together. They couldn't stop fighting with each other. So it was tricky. But then we have the UK. Ofek is Israeli. Anybody else? Oh, Canada! Our home and native land. Yeah, I can't stop. I just every time Ashley pops up in my every time Canada happens, and she does get her Canadian accent every once in a while. She goes out, boot. She goes about.
The Bulldog organization that I'm part of, they're doing some paperwork so somebody can pick up the dog that we're fostering. So.
Oh, you gonna roll and rescue a dog?
Well, I mean, we do regularly.
So you're heading out to rescue?
Well, just in my house so we could do the paperwork.
Oh, okay.
Other person's coming and then we have to figure out what we're doing. So.
Either way, you're helping with the rescue.
Okay.
Thanks for rescuing. Have fun.
Nice meeting you, man.
Be
Have
safe.
a good one.
All right, bye-bye.
See you on property. You doing okay there?
Yeah.
All right. Do you
There's
need
a lot of meat here.
Well, I used a whole pound. I wasn't sure. I don't cook meat much anymore, so I wasn't sure what I needed. So I just made a whole pound of sausage. You don't have to use all of it. Andy will eat it if it doesn't get used.
Really, it's like fingered now.
Okay. Well, that's all good. All right. It's all good. No worries. Nico's still diligently doing dishes over here.
Cleaning up now.
Thank you. So we've put the French bread pizzas in the freezer, and then once they're frozen, we're going to go ahead and wrap them up in tin foil and then hand them out. If you're going to eat these, if we were going to eat these right away, go ahead and bake them off at 425 degrees, not in a plastic lid, just in case I needed to disclaimer that. Don't use plastic in the oven. It's not good. Or on the stovetop. Don't use plastic with high heat anybody. Yes?
Because I've seen it done. What about styrofoam?
No, not styrofoam either. No, don't use styrofoam in a high heat implement ever. Don't put it in the microwave. No, don't. Not in the oven, not on the stovetop. If you need more cheese, I have more cheese. It's just not mozzarella.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
It should be okay.
But if you were going to do this right away, we would go ahead and just pop these in the oven at 425 degrees for, I would say, 8 minutes, 5 to 8 minutes. Andy is looking at me like he has a comment. What's that now? Oh, good gravy train, man.
Sign language.
You are not good at sign language, and I can't read your mind as much as I try to after however many years we've been married. So if you are going to freeze these, then you go ahead and you put them on the sheet tray, kind of like this. You stick them in the freezer, and then when they're frozen, you wrap them up in tin foil, put them back in the freezer, and then when you're ready, 425 for 15 minutes in the oven.
All the cheese.
Or you can make it faster and put them in the microwave for a couple minutes.
After you take the tinfoil.
Yes, take the tin foil off first, please. Thank you, Carol. I forget that it goes without saying. I just need to do that and say it.
So you put it in the freezer before you wrap it in tinfoil. Why is that?
That way,
All these froze together.
well, ordinarily I would have a big sheet tray and I would put them on the sheet tray. We're just kind of getting a par freeze here. So we're getting them just cold enough that everything is cold. So if you take a room temperature or a warm or hot ingredient and you put it and you wrap it, you cover it with something, and then you put it in the freezer, you're going to get condensation. And then it's going to get mushy when you heat it up again. So this way you're freezing it without actually making any additional moisture. So then you wrap it up and then you reheat it, either in the oven or in the microwave. Take it out of the tin foil.
Are you done?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Ooh, Andy, you have green onions left, or green peppers left. Put some eggs in there. Make you an omelet. Sorry, my throat gets really dry when I talk for a long amount of time. Alright, so I'm right behind you with a knife. Just be careful. It's a serrated knife, so it shouldn't hurt too badly, but it's still a knife. Alright. Last but not least, it's breakfast time. Alright, I'm going to put my pizza sauce away because I don't need that second jar. I'm just going to do a little bit of tidying here. And then someone gets to make pancakes while I talk. I feel like it should be Dylan. I feel like Dylan should make pancakes. Yeah! Mostly you get to work at the stove in just a minute.
Oh, yeah. Fire. The green one? I'll take that.
Excuse me, pardon me.
Kitchen got crowded.
We're gonna make blueberry pancakes. That's adorable.
Oh.
It matches my apron.
Smells good.
Alright, so we're gonna make, I'm gonna cheat. It's not cheating. It's taking a hand from the store. So we're gonna go ahead and we are gonna make pancakes together.
Okay.
So let's follow the box. We need 2 cups of mix, we need 1 cup of milk, and we need 2 eggs.
2 eggs.
So I have eggs in the cooler and I have milk on the door of the fridge.
Does this work with almond milk?
Yes, it absolutely works with almond milk. And if you want to substitute applesauce for the eggs, then you can have a vegan breakfast.
Wait, so the almond milk makes no difference?
It does not.
I gave up milk and I stopped making pancakes.
No, use almond milk. No,
My
use.
daughter is one of the new interns in the back. Whose mom is peanut? Oh, that's mine.
Yes, but let's use the almond milk. So that way, yeah. Are you,
How do you milk
Nico?
almonds?
I also
I've had this conversation with someone before. It didn't
Not a
go
serious
anywhere.
question.
So now almonds will matter too.
I mean, they make milk.
Stealing supplies.
Are the almonds activated?
Thanks. Talk to Andy. He's the knife sharpener. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and pancakes are not really an exact science, which is the best part. You can make your own pancake mix at home if you want to. I'm sure you can find. Alton Brown has a recipe for those people who are familiar with Alton Brown. Good gracious. Nico, that was not big enough.
That's the good eats guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that guy.
Do you have your knife on you? Because Nico's isn't sharp.
I know. Unfortunately.
Ordinarily, I would use scissors in my kitchen, but I'm not in my kitchen, and I don't. Okay. Thank you. All right, there we go. All right, so we're going to use, according to the box directions, we're going to use, holy fish sticks, 2 cups.
2 cups. 1 cup.
It's an approximation. This is the fun part. 2 cups. All right. Now, can you, let's see, what did the directions say?
1 cup of milk.
Stir ingredients until blended. Pour slightly less than 1/4 cup cupfuls onto hot greased griddle. Griddle. Andy. The griddle. It says griddle right there on the instructions.
Do I have a griddle?
We're gonna use the big red pan. We're gonna do it stovetop style. I have a griddle, and I requested it to be brought, but there was some miscommunications. All right, if you will go ahead and crack 2 eggs into that for me, please. Unless you want to do the milk.
Either way. Into the cup or
Any cup? Any chance who? Elizabeth?
We have a request. Elizabeth's mother.
Yeah! Come on,
come do the
Elizabeth!
milk?
Get up here! Woo!
So here in the cup.
Put them in the cup. So the reason you put your eggs in a cup is so that way if you have a bad egg, it doesn't go directly into your mix. 1 cup of that, please. Of that almond milk. Here, give that to me. Boom. Thank you. 2. All right, and then let's see. What happened to my? There's my whisk. All right, Elizabeth, will you grab that whisk, please? Thank you. Excellent. And let's see. Go ahead and give the whisk. That might not work. That's too big. Go ahead and pour your milk into the thing, please. There we go. And then Dylan, put your eggs in the cup, in the glass cup, measuring cup. Yeah. And then Elizabeth, you can pass him that whisk. And Dylan, you can go ahead and whisk those eggs.
Not cool.
It doesn't have to be beautiful or perfect. Just a little bit.
Okay,
Just a little whisk. A mini whisk. There you go. And the reason we're whisking the eggs first is so that way we get total incorporation of egg white and egg yolk into our mix. All right, it looks good. You're very efficient at that. I like it. Thank you. Good job.
Practice.
Good job.
Sauce instead of eggs, how much applesauce would we use instead of 2 eggs?
1/4 cup per egg. So if the recipe calls for 2 eggs, 1/4 cup of eggs. Make that up, Nico. I heard you sass me. Don't you sass me. I heard you. Nico's like, she made that up. Did not.
You can use applesauce in there.
You can. Instead of eggs, you can use applesauce.
Did not know that.
That's a great question, Andy.
What's up?
That was a good question. So don't forget that Chicken and Nugget has a Facebook page where we do live videos, typically every Friday, usually from my kitchen. But we get to hang out with interns and volunteers. I'm gonna let someone else stir because y'all get in there. Have fun.
Oh, you can do it. Your mom's watching.
Stir Wars.
Stir Wars. Prefer Stir Trek? No.
Let's see, how does that look? Does it? Sometimes with pancake mix, you'll have lumps, and lumps are not the worst thing ever. Yeah, stir until blended. Does that look like it's blended?
Not quite.
Okay, stir until blended. You'll be fine. You can't make it, it's not gonna taste bad. It can't taste bad. It's got pancake mix and eggs and milk, and we're gonna add fresh blueberries to this. We're gonna have blueberry pancakes. Y'all are going home with blueberry pancakes. All right, do you wanna make the pancakes?
Okay.
You guys can, and then you can put blueberry on top of his pancakes.
Okay.
All right.
But you have to make them into like faces, like smiley faces.
Oh yeah, you can make them however you like. See, that's the nice part. So we're gonna take our fresh blueberries. I think that looks mixed. There'll be some lumps always with pancake mix. There will always be lumps. As much as I don't like it, it's just the nature of the beast.
Just like in life, you gotta love your lumps.
Oh, that's valid. We've got a lot of life lessons happening here today too. All right, so I've got my pan. I'm gonna turn it up a little bit higher than medium. Let's see. That's for biscuits.
Biscuits.
Biscuits! Hot greased griddle.
Here.
Butter biscuits.
Oh, some nutcracker. My lid went flying. Alright, so I'm going to turn this up to medium-high heat, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to use, even though it's a non-stick, I'm going to go ahead and use some cooking spray just to give it beautiful golden brown edges. What are you doing over here? What's happening? You want to make pancakes too, Miss? No?
I make hash browns.
Ooh, hash browns. Good call.
Next week.
Hash browns. I'm gonna give you this so you can have like perfectly portioned cups of pancake mix. 1/3 cup.
My mom always used to say the first pancake will always be a flop.
Really?
Is that true?
I don't know.
My mom always used to fail at the first one.
That's
Let's
true in
find
my
out.
experience.
Well,
Never quite right.
we'll put that science, we'll put that theory to a test with Dylan. All right.
Don't mess it up.
Don't mess it up. Pray to the pancake gods. All right, this pan is a little bit small. I was gonna bring a griddle. It didn't happen, so we're just gonna go ahead and see how many pancakes we can get in there, and if they mush together, it's okay. All right, you ready? Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
All right. Let's begin pancake making. So, super simple. I'm gonna set this to whatever side you prefer. Just don't put it on a hot burner or the glass will shatter and explode and pancake mix will go everywhere.
Fill this up in there.
Yep, fill it and then dump it in. And then you get to take these fabulous fresh blueberries, which are in season. And if you find any icky ones like that, just take rid of those. And then if you see any stems, just peel that up. There you go. See, there you go. Fabulous fresh pancakes, blueberries.
What's the difference between a pancake and a
Biscuit.
no, not a biscuit, flapjack?
They're the same.
They're the same thing, right?
Yeah. Flapjack is just another word
I thought
for...
pancake were bigger than flapjacks.
Well, I mean, you can make giant flapjacks. Usually they're ginormous. But yeah, a pancake and a flapjack are the
There
same
you go.
thing. Kind of like a cougar is the same thing as a mountain lion.
Bring in some cat.
Yay, cat facts!
When is your next cooking class?
My next cooking class is July... Andy, when's my next cooking class? July. Chelsea, when's my next cooking class? July 9th.
Ooh, and I can have hair. That'll be cool. I'm very far away.
All right, you have to come on camera then. Come on camera.
You have
Come here.
to.
Come on.
That's so sad. I just realized.
This is Tanya's last cooking class until she comes back from South Africa. So
It'll be
she's
like a year.
gonna come say hi to everybody, even though she's dirty.
It's gonna be like a year, Bridget.
Wash your hands.
I'm dirty, Bridget.
I don't care. I love you. I'm gonna miss you.
I'm gonna miss you too.
But you can watch us on Facebook.
Be like Tanya is watching.
Yes. Someone will tell me that Tanya is watching. What time is it in South Africa right now?
Like 7 hours from now, forward.
Okay. Wow. So then you can just watch later on, and you
I
can.
will wake up
Oh,
at what time? What's the time now? 8 o'clock.
it's 8:30 right now.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's like 3 o'clock. I'll wake up at 3.
Oof. Wow, that's dedication and
To
love.
watch Bridget.
You can watch me Friday nights at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit. Yeah. How are we doing there?
Yeah, I can make something with it.
All right. You're dripping. Just mind the drips. There you go. Put that in there.
In there.
Yeah, there you go. Just set it in there. There you go.
What am I looking at?
Good job. All right, so when your pancakes start to bubble, you've got little air pockets going on here. You're going to let that go, and then once the edges start to brown, that's when it's time to flip. So, I'm going to move your pancakes. I'm going to show the camera. So see here, we've got some nice setting going on the sides. I'm going to turn the heat down a little bit. And then once these really start to set up, then we're going to flip them. We're going to flip them. That's what that's for. Can you handle that pressure, or do you want me to flip the first time to show you? You got it?
Okay, I got it.
Okay.
I'm gonna do my best.
All right. I'm like you feed tigers and lions. This is a pancake walk. It's a pancake walk. It's a cake walk. It's a pancake walk. Can I? Baz wants to know if she can. No, my dad joke was hilarious.
Silence.
Should I tell the ocelot joke?
No, please don't.
Oh, Carol wants to hear the ocelot joke. She's intrigued now. What do you call a baby ocelot?
Oh no, I heard this on tour.
An ocelittle? Not really, not really. It's not really what you call a baby ocelot, but it's a good joke. Yeah, now on tour it's gonna be ocelittles.
Well, Perfection's pretty small. Can we call her that?
No.
Oh.
She will bite you.
She will.
She'll growl at you.
She grows.
She won't actually bite you because, you know, we don't have contact. But if she could, she would. Especially you, Andy. I think she would bite you if she could.
I stay in the air conditioning.
I stay in the air conditioning. Let's check the status of the pancakes. Yeah, this looks good. See how it's kind of set there? All right, that's going to be the first one you flip. You got it? All right, everybody, hold your breath. Oh!
I screwed it up.
It did not go well.
The theory
I choked.
The theory works.
And your mom's theory works, Tanya. The first pancake is a throwaway. Okay, this one looks good, but you're going to need to fix that blueberry. Yeah, get that blueberry.
Back in there. Sorry,
Yeah. All right, and then it's time to flip that one because you see how it's kind of done on the bottom half. There you go.
Oh,
Who's talking trash?
I'm bad at this.
I'm no snitch.
I ain't no snitch.
What's that?
Are we waiting
You didn't see
for
anything?
pancakes to cook for a second?
We're waiting on pancakes to cook. Yeah.
We've had a couple people ask about incoming tigers. Carol, can we get an update on that, please?
Do we have an update on incoming tigers? Yes.
Yay!
Ladies and gentlemen, our founder and president, Carol.
The tigers from Guatemala, we thought were going to be here in December, and because of the government shutdown, it put it back several months to be put on the Federal Register. That happened, I'm thinking, probably like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And then there's a month that it has to be on the Federal Register, and then the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service has to decide what they're going to decide on it. So we're thinking probably August before Kimba, Simba, and Max make it here from Guatemala. A lot of other people are really concerned about what happened in Canada with the seizure of all of those animals at a really horrible zoo. And we were asked back in April if we would be willing to take the small cats. We said we would take all of the small cats, including some of the bigger cats. But they contacted me on the 15th of this month and said they had already found other arrangements for the animals. And so because of the fact that it's cross-country borders and you have this whole importing thing going on, my guess is that they probably had to find somebody in Canada or maybe are even sheltering in place. I don't know the details. I just know those cats are not coming here.
Thanks, Carol. Wow, we gotta wait till August for those kids. That's exciting, but also sad. You have been standing over there talking trash, and now you're like, oh, I'm stealing a blueberry. I do what I want. My name's Maz. I eat gravy on peas, and I call them biscuits, even though they're cookies.
You just confused that with so much that.
Where's my lesson made you at the house?
Well, I have many biscuits. Many biscuits in the house.
Oh, look at those. Look at those beautiful, beautiful pancakes.
Where's the smiley face, yo?
I made it. It had hair.
At one point.
That one was a little rough there. That was the one that we struggled. That was the first. This is the first one. And yeah, look at that.
There's a little.
So what is your choice of
I'll eat that one.
liquid to put on top?
Syrup is
Gravy.
delicious. Gravy.
Gravy! Woo!
Gravy is delicious.
You like honey?
Ooh, I don't usually eat honey. I don't
Can
really
vegans, do vegans eat honey?
It depends on who you talk to. It depends on your vegan. So there are vegans that eat honey and there are vegans that don't eat honey. But there are also vegans that don't eat bread or drink kombucha because they think that yeast is living.
Kombucha.
Kombucha is a fermented tea.
Very good too.
Yes, it's also very... Honey, or Chelsea, you eat honey? Chelsea eats honey. So it just depends on the vegan that you talk to. I'm going to turn this down because our pan is now smoking. Screaming hot pan. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and just use maybe like a little bit less than a third of a cup. Because I feel like maybe we got a little out of control with those pancakes. A little bit.
They look good.
Alright, who's doing blueberries? There we go. Fluffy.
They look good.
What are you going on about over there? Maz is singing a blueberry song. Apparently
Have you
it's
never
something...
seen the video?
No, what are you talking about?
That girl who's making a fruit salad and her little sister comes and she's passing blueberries. You know that?
No.
It's a UK thing.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I was like, are you just making up things now, Maz?
Bridget, do
Yes.
you ever make savory pancakes?
I do not personally, but I...
Didn't know
Wait,
that was a thing.
have I made a savory pancake before, Andy?
I don't know if you have. I think I have though.
Well, a savory pancake could include a various number of things, like...
It's not like pita bread.
Like the stuff you put in your pie could be in the pancake.
Yeah, you could do
I just
bacon
made that
and
up.
cheese if you eat meat. You could do cheese and bacon. You could do scallions, which is a green onion, and maybe some peppers. That would be tasty. Yeah, I'm really going to town. We got some nice heat going on here. I'm just gonna, don't want to burn the pancakes. Let's see. Chinese pancakes are usually savory with like chives or green onions in them. But I've not personally ever made a savory pancake. I've made a savory biscuit, which is actually like...
We make savory biscuits with cheese and beans.
Cheese and beans.
And gravy? Okay. I've made savory biscuits before, and those were, yeah. You know, you had I made...
I'm getting questions about a blueberry song.
Oh, Maz brought up the blueberry song, and now people want to know what it is. I don't know what it is.
Well, I've got a request from a few people for a few of you to sing it all at once.
Oh!
Maz is the only one that knows it.
Maz!
Can you sing it?
Sing the blueberry song.
Copyright, you gotta sing it.
Maz, you gotta get in front of the camera because there's a lot of confused people right now. And you should probably sing it.
You should sing along. I feel like you should sing along.
Oh, I just switched my phone now. I am not a tech person.
Do it. Come on, Maz.
There's not a song, it's a video.
Sing along now.
Yes, that was an anticlimax. We need to.
Yeah! Wow, so memorable.
There goes too zealous.
The pancakes were just a little bit big. There we go. Alright, see, there we go.
No, that was good.
There we go. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with the pancake song. I don't get it. I would like to share a pancake hack with everybody. If you don't want to stand over the stovetop like this all the live long day, you put them in muffin tins and you bake them in the oven.
Oh.
Yeah, I like to call them puffins. Pancake muffins. I do know there's an animal called a puffin. When I was,
they're adorable.
They are adorable. When I was a kid, there was a restaurant in my hometown, which was very small, of like 5,000 people. Shout out to Jefferson, Wisconsin. And it was called the Puffin Cafe. Yeah. And they had puffins on the walls. Not real ones, or not...
Taxidermy.
Not taxi... Yes, thank
Pictures
you.
of them.
Just, yes, photos and paintings and drawings and... Yeah. But not real puffins. But yeah, I like to call those puffins. Then you just dump the batter in the muffin tin and you put it in the oven at 350 for like 15 minutes, and you can put all kinds of stuff in there. I have done that before many a time. Yes. Any other questions? Because otherwise we're just going to make pancakes and... Oh, we've got 4 minutes on the pie.
Perfect timing. Nice.
Yeah, I would grease it unless you have a non-stick muffin pan. Then you don't have to, but I would definitely, if it's not a non-stick muffin pan, then go ahead and use your non-stick of choice. Like I use the spray, I like the coconut oil spray for when I'm making sweet stuff, and then I use the olive oil spray, but I only brought the olive oil spray, so olive oil, you can't go wrong with olive oil, but I like the coconut oil when I'm baking things. But yeah, spray the pan. Unless it's non-stick, and then you should be good. And you can make mini muffins. If you have a mini muffin pan, you can make mini puffins. Just put like, Andy will put like 3 of them in his mouth at one time.
Pufflets.
Pufflets?
Pufflets.
Oh, that was a terrible one.
There we go.
Much better. You know, the trick to that is looking at the person's elbow. Did I teach you
told
that?
me that, yeah.
Yes! Oh, we have to high five on that too. Nice. That's the secret trick, is that you look at the person's elbow that you're high-fiving.
You see, the first batch always is
it's
a
not.
failure.
Yeah, no, it's not good.
Well, thank you guys. People are now just putting puff in front of random letters.
You're welcome, America. Good night.
What are puffins?
Pufflets, they're the mini
No,
muffins.
but this person is saying puffinets.
Puffins. I don't know what that is.
That sounds delicious.
That's the French version.
Oh, that's nice. Yes, puffinets, puffinet, or would it be puffinets then?
Yeah, don't say half the letters, so then it's French.
All right, Maz, sing it. Sing the blueberry song.
Make up a blueberry song at this point.
And I have the Jurassic Park theme tune.
Oh no! Jurassic Park.
I know, that's what I said. I was going to the Jello.
I forgot the Jello. I'll bring it Saturday.
All right, so for those, I'm sorry, Brooke. I love you. I love you. I love you. I never do this, but I love you. So, for those that are kind of confused. Our intern, Brooke, it was pointed out by Nico, of all people, that intern Brooke, when she's wearing her hat and she's been outside all day, she just looks like Emma Stone. Is it Emma Stone that people say you look like?
No. Kristen Dunst.
Kristen Dunst, yes. Now you look like Kristen Dunst with your hair down. Now you look like Kristen Dunst, but when she's wearing her hat and she's been outside all day and she's got her like wispy bang dealies hanging down from her hat, she looks kind of like Lexi from Jurassic Park. It was brought to my attention by Nico, and Brooke now hates Nico for the rest of her life, and I can't say I blame her. So now anytime Nico and Maz and Brooke are all in the same room or in the same vicinity, there is a Jurassic Park theme song being played, and Brooke has been amazingly wonderful about it. I think she might slash Nico's tires on her last day of her internship. It's possible.
You should hide that chef's knife.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be like she'll steal his knife, and but I get the sense that that's gonna happen. But yeah, so that's how the Jurassic Park theme song thing ended up happening, and Brooke has been a great sport about it. Again, I don't blame Brooke. If you do slash his tires, I will not tell anybody. I won't tell anybody.
But only do 3 though, because 4 of them insurance will cover.
Fun question here. So, how did the hot lunch go over? How were the sandwiches?
Oh,
amazing.
actually, Ashley can tell us how the sandwiches were for hot lunch since she participates in hot lunch. Ashley,
I don't think anyone knows who Ashley is, though. Can we see Ashley?
You've been here long enough. People need to know you.
They do. They told me last time. They were great.
Oh.
I don't know what it is though.
I know what it is. George picked it out.
Yes,
George
picked out familiar with the hot lunch program. Carol's actually unfamiliar with the hot lunch program because I hadn't brought it up with her, so now she's going to learn what it is. I'm sorry, Carol. I have started a workplace group that is private, and I have invited people that volunteer on Saturdays. And what I do is I make lunch, and if they would like to participate, they give me some money to pay for groceries. And then they get a main course, like a main dish, a side, and usually dessert. And Elisa gets really excited because we all know how much Elisa likes food, so she does her little happy food dance. But yes, hot lunch is an option for anybody who volunteers on a Saturday, because that is the day that I am in on the partner side. So the night before, I make hot lunch for everybody, and it's not always hot lunch. Oh, the pie is done. The pie is done. But basically, you can let me know if you're interested in the hot lunch program, and you get a meal for like $6. Melissa she's gonna start her first hot lunch on Saturday. George picked hot lunch because I couldn't decide.
I think it sounds like a great idea.
I was the one who convinced her to charge money.
It's true. Chelsea's the one who convinced me to charge money.
And I convinced Bridget it was a good idea.
This was really beautiful.
Thanks. There it is, everybody.
Oh, gorgeous.
I'm gonna turn this off. Clear off. So there's your pot pie. So definitely when it's time, if you're gonna serve this right away, let it sit for 10 minutes because everything in there is like molten liquid hot. It's very hot, like liquid hot magma.
Very hot.
Nice. Did you do yellow?
What's it? Yeah.
Good job. Always now. Good job. Yeah. Always with yellow now. So let this set up for 10 minutes. If you're going to freeze it, you can let it come to cool, like room temperature, and you can either freeze your pot pie whole, or you can cut it into slices and freeze your slices individually. So since you guys are going to be portioning these out for your own meals, definitely bring it to room temperature, slice it up, and then freeze it individually. So, other than that, do we have any last minute questions? Because otherwise, we're just going to finish this pancakes and then clean up. And
yeah, Cara Taylor wants to know where you got those mitts.
I got these mitts on the Greater Good site, and all of my purchases went to feed homeless animals in shelters food. So yeah, the Greater Good website. And your proceeds go to feed animals in shelters. Yay! Because let's be honest, we like feeding cats breakfast. Does it look good? What do you think? Oh, look at, he's getting to be a pro now. He's like the pancake pro. You're welcome. Yeah, we're gonna have to get rid of those.
I'll eat them.
Okay. I forgot, they ain't anything. Just cover them up with it.
Just hide my shame.
Yeah, just cover those up with the pretty pancakes and now
Drop that one.
There we go. Yeah, there we go. Nice. All right, any other questions?
Let's see. Catherine Nazareth is explaining many times she's slowly becoming more like Amanda as she watches you cook.
Amanda Tiger?
Yeah, she's becoming very hungry.
Oh, I thought she was just being angry, and I was like, I'm sorry, why is cooking should not make you angry.
Nikki's our hungry girl.
And they want to know what's up next. Any idea?
Well, this coming Friday, I'm going to be working on Hot Lunch, and Hot Lunch for Saturday is going to be corn dog muffins, which I had to explain to Maz. Oh, you looked really excited there. You just got super excited. Ooh. Basically, it's cornbread, and you pour it into a muffin tin, and then you add your hot dogs, which are either vegan or non, which in my case, they're vegan, and in Andy's case, they are non-vegan. And in your case, they're non-vegan, right? Yeah, that's what I thought. And so I'm going to work on those, and then we'll do a potato salad. And then for dessert, which I'll make after the show, is a strawberry cake. So Friday is Hot Lunch Day in my personal kitchen with Andy Sardone, and then you guys can see what we're making for Hot Lunch, and then you can message the interns or Elisa. You can message Elisa and ask her what she thinks about Hot Lunch, because she's pretty excitable when it comes to food. Yeah.
I concur. She's food aggressive.
So, I love you, Elisa, but she's the first one to admit she gets hangry. I feel like I should.
All the time.
No, we're good over here.
All right, so if you guys are interested in the recipes, go to chickenandnugget.com. Don't forget to like and follow us on Facebook. That includes interns, volunteers, staff, anybody that wants to follow along on what's happening, or you want to know what the recipes are. Otherwise, here, put that on and wave to the people. Here, put that on and wave to your mom if she's still watching. There you go.
Okay.
The other way. There you go. Bye, guys. Have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
That was awesome. Yeah.